My name is Dr. Vibha Dubey. I am consultant pediatrician in SKG Hospital. I am visiting consultant in IIT Jodhpur and HPCL Pachmadra. Today, I will be talking about a very common complaint of children, that is abdominal pain. Abdominal pain is a very common condition and the characteristic of pain differs in different conditions, and depending upon the characteristic of pain, the diagnosis is made. Surprising, in majority of cases of pain abdomen in children, no cause can be found. Now I am coming to the most common causes of pain abdomen. The most common causes of pain abdomen are infection, overeating, gaseous distension, allergy to substances like gluten and milk, or appendicitis, urinary tract infection, irritable bowel syndrome, incarcerated hernia, or torsion of testes in male child. There are some less common causes of pain abdomen, which I should not go in detail here because it is beyond the scope of this video. But still, because I am enumerating all the causes of pain abdomen, I have to at least mention it. Some of the less common causes are infective hepatitis, pancreatitis, inflammatory bowel disease, swallowed foreign body, Henoch's cholina purpura, sickle cell anemia, and obstruction of bowel. Now, out of these enormous causes, how do the doctor come to a conclusion? They come to a conclusion, they take a detailed history about the type of the pain, then the area of the pain. When they examine the child, they come to know about the area where it is, which is most painful, and associated symptoms. If there is infection, generally there is history of eating outside, and it is associated with vomiting and diarrhea, or some other area of the body like chest, they can also be infected. Sometimes it is very important to inquire if the child has gone to some party or something nice has been made in home, and because of that there is overeating, and that can also result into pain abdomen. Gaseous distension is more common in newborn and infants. In that, child keeps on screaming. Generally it happens in the evening, and child doesn't settle even if you pick up the child, and child is screaming and pulling his legs over his abdomen repeatedly. What is the cause of gaseous distension in young children? It is because while feeding, the child swallows air, and if we do not do proper burping of the child, then it results into gaseous distension. So it is very important to burp the child properly. It is very important to inquire about the history of constipation. How will we define constipation? Constipation is a condition when child has got less than 3 stools in a week and it is very hard. Allergy to foodstuffs is suspected if child develops pain abdomen immediately after consuming milk or gluten, and there are associated symptoms like vomiting, diarrhea, and bloating. Urinary infection should be suspected when child develops pain abdomen, and generally it is associated with fever, and child has difficulty in passing urine. Because of burning micturition, sometimes child stop urinating, or sometimes there is increased frequency of urination. If we can suspect appendicitis when pain starts in the umbilical area and then it shifts into right side of lower side of the abdomen. There is one condition called irritable bowel syndrome. In that, the child develops abdominal pain, and generally it is associated with either constipation or diarrhea, or both are present alternating. In this condition, the stool is associated with mucus. In case of pain abdomen, it is very important to examine the hernial sites if there is any incarceration or obstruction or pain in that area. And in male child, it is very important to examine the testes if there is some rotation, which is called torsion in scientific terms. Sometimes the intestine get entangled with each other, and it is a very serious condition, and child, there is severe pain and child screams a lot and passes stool mixed with blood. And in that situation, we should not stay in the hospital and we should not stay at home and immediately rush to the hospital. Now, sometimes children they swallow something and we don't know. Suppose they are playing unattended. In that case, if it is a small body or round body, generally they are harmless. They pass quietly in the stool and nobody comes to know about it. But suppose there is something like magnet or button battery or anything with sharp edges, that can be very troublesome, and it is very important to operate upon the child immediately. Suppose a young girl comes to us. In that case, it is very important to ask about the history of menstruation, because menstruation leads to pain abdomen in many girls. Last but not the least, the commonest cause of pain abdomen is functional abdominal pain. I called it commonest, but still I am mentioning it in the last. Why? Because it can be diagnosed only after ruling out all the other conditions. It is generally psychogenic in origin. The child might be suffering from anxiety or depression. Or that doesn't mean the child is not having pain. Child is having pain. And it might also be associated with some disturbance into the healthy bacteria of the gut. So these are some of the causes which can lead to functional abdominal pain. Some of the organs inside our abdomen, if it is diseased, it can lead to pain abdomen. Suppose our liver is diseased, it can result into the pain in the right upper quadrant of the abdomen. Suppose a pancreas is diseased, it will lead to pain radiating to the back. The type of pain is also important. So doctors ask about the type of pain, whether it is a dull ache or colicky. Colicky means it's coming and going, or it is radiating somewhere. They also aid into the diagnosis, or it is so severe that child wakes up in the middle of the night. Infant and toddlers, they don't speak and it is very difficult to diagnose abdominal pain, but certain behaviors tell us about it. In infants, like when the child is small, then it is very difficult, child is very restless, child is screaming and child is pulling her legs on the abdomen. And if it is slightly a bigger child, then child quietly lies down. He or she refuses to eat anything which is given to the child, and child doesn't want to play, and we can make out from the facial expression because child becomes grumpy. It is very important to find out if there is blood or mucus in the stool. Now coming to what investigation we will do to diagnose abdominal pain. We will do CBC and CRP, that is to find out, this is the blood test to find out if there is any infection in the body. Then we can go for stool examination, that will also detect if there is any infection in the body or if it is associated with blood. X-ray flat plate erect position, it is also very important. If we suspect any hole in the urinary tract infection, that will also tell us if there is infection in the urine, that can be detected. I forgot to mention this important cause in the causes. Now I am coming to very rare causes which are needed very rarely. If the child is still having pain abdomen and we are not able to find out any cause because of these investigation, we can go for endoscopy of upper gastrointestinal tract, where we can see stomach directly by putting a telescope, or we can go for lower colon inspection by putting a telescope in the lower colon. In rare cases, we might also have to go for CT abdomen. Now coming to what preliminary treatment we can give at home if our child is saying that child is suffering from, or we suspect the child is suffering from pain abdomen. First of all, ask him to lie down and give a hot water bottle to the child. Do some sweet talks to the child or tell him some story so that he is little bit distracted. Give them some clear fluids to drink. Never push them to eat something. You have to give something to eat only when the child is asking for it. Never force him to eat something. If you know about the history of stool, where the child has not passed stool for 2 days, make the child sit on the toilet seat. sometimes seated. Sometimes it happens when the child passes to stool, the child feels relaxed. If all these measures don't work, once you can try over-counter drugs like paracetamol or antispasmodic. Still the pain is not settling, rush the child to a doctor, because after that home treatment is not required or it should not be done. So now I have told you everything I knew about abdominal pain. I hope it is some use to you, and if you like it, kindly like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.